You have.
Okay, folks, welcome to the March the 4th edition of Crafty Crows. Now, those of you that Shakin' Stevens fans will know that he's 78 today, and those of you who aren't will think, why on earth is she mentioning that? Well, I'm full of great facts like this. Yeah, Kate the nerd. Anyway, less about Shakin' Stevens, more about you. Um, Welcome to Crafty Crows. I'm going to give you a little bit of housekeeping first of all. Please mute for each poet. You can clap after they've read, cheer, say positive things along in the chat. We love you chatting in the chat about lines that you really enjoyed, appreciation, plenty of that in the chat. But please let the poet perform um, so that they've got able to focus on what they're doing. The event is being recorded, as you've just heard, so please only share poems that you're happy to class as being published. Open mic poets, please keep to your 3-minute slot. And you are absolutely encouraged, in fact, well, more than that, you must share your bios, books, and events in the chat because this just won't be enough hearing you for 3 minutes today. We love to follow up, find out where else we can read your work or hear you perform. This is a volunteer-led society, so if you can spare a donation, it's really fabulous because we pay our poets, or even consider joining with a society membership. We'd love you to do that. So those are the rules of engagement. And we always start, something else I want to mention today is that all donations today actually will be going to Maggie's, which is Cheltenham local cancer support charity. And Jason's just popped the link in the chat there for you to go along and support. And that's because we've got the amazing Chloë Jacquet as our headliner today. And yeah, you'll hear if you don't know what she's about. I'm trying to keep the tension, but I'm sure you all know because she's shared it on socials and it's just awesome. But we're going to see Chloe's incredible Chemotherapy Airways film in the second half. In the first half, however, I kick off with a poem which I did have ready. I'm now trying to just waffle a bit while I get it up on my chat so I can read it to you. Okay, so this week apparently is International Women's Day. I believe it's something we should celebrate, not just once a day. In fact, it's not a celebration, it's an opportunity for us to try and fight for equality and equity and that kind of thing. However, this poem is about grandmothers. This poem's about grandmothers because I recently became one. It's about the scientific, thank you, little applause, I appreciate that. I might be a little bit giddy because of this, and a little bit more ADHD than normal because, hey, babies do that to you. Anyway, why do grandmothers exist? You may ask yourself. Well, this poem will explain. It's called the grandmother hypothesis. Is menopause a cause for commiseration, or celebration? Menopause in mammals is rare. Humans share this state with whales and narwhals. I can only speak for humans. So, what is the purpose? How does infertility guarantee survival of the fittest? Maybe menopause is a resetting, an erasing of our midlife trauma. Maybe some good comes from brain fog, all the criticisms hidden from view. The freezing white numbness means I have to redefine me, now, me, here. So all the voices I've carried for years and years have been buried. Finally, the funeral veil is drawn, all this heartache laid to rest. Maybe now I can be reborn, with my best humanity yet to be. I can be here for you, my granddaughter, unconditionally. Oh, that's got so much more meaning. I wrote it 2 years ago, before I had a grandchild. And I now have a little granddaughter, Isla. I'm very proud of her. So, enough of me setting the scene. I would love to invite up to the open mic our first poet of the night, and that's Laura Grevel. Are you ready?
Yes, thank you very much, Kate, and congratulations. May I share the screen?
I'm sure
Absolutely.
Jason can make that happen.
Yeah, sharing's enabled.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you, Jason. I'm going to try to hang in here a little bit, see if my body can keep going. Life is a mystery. So this piece, I'm just reading one. It's written for a Beyond Borders prompt, which is now part of a bunch of different pieces for a video, which is very interesting and international. This is called Sailing, and it is a high bun. Starts with a haiku. Roots crawl through darkness, grow steady, come up for air, eyeless, seeing God. Who knew I would leave a patch of gravel that stands only in memory? The palm trees dead in a frost year, the live oaks brittle as bones. A patch of expectations that expired in a summer of extreme heat. As I landed aboard a ship without anchor, mosquitoes from home follow. You can never leave a certain past. They hover and bite exposed lives. On this craft, we've built a tent of ramshackle hopes, hopes that sit like frogs, ready to leap from our refuse of leftovers. A straw angel from a Christmas tree, a photo of a friend at 10 years, the crucifix of a girl whose Jesus had fallen off. After each storm, when our tent has washed away, we lie under open sky and read the clouds. They reveal landscapes where we find people, dead and living, and invite them to dance. The cloud birds dance too, the confusion a relief, though our space is limited. Afterward, we sit together to serve a meal of sea air. The singing begins while our chosen sailor keeps watch on high in the crow's nest, searching the distance for borders. He sees none. Just the horizon. We now suspect that the beginning meets the end, and the end the beginning. We sail confidently forward to that junction where love is afloat. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you so much, Laura. That was gorgeous. Really, really lovely. Yes, amazing. Well, I would love to invite Michael Sindler next on the open mic, but I'm not sure he's here yet. So I am going to ask Stacy Dyson to join us on the open mic. Stacy, over to you.
Okay. Caught me a little unprepared. Time difference got me. Hang on for just one moment, please. This is from my new book, Because the Sun Would Not Move. I measured it once. 4 paces to the couch that is my bed for the last year. 12 steps to a bathroom shared with 2 young children, their mother, one vain, out of control teenager, and a boarder who lurches through the hall 7 paces, most nights, drunk or high, incapable of zeroing in on the toilet bowl. I am supposed to be grateful. I am supposed to thank my lucky stars. I am supposed to bite my tongue till it bleeds when what I clean stays dirtier. I cook and it's wasted. I can't ask for quiet because it's not my house. I am a guest. I should be grateful. The noise, the constant chaos, the germs. I haven't been as sick in 5 years as I've been in 1 year here. The air is dirt and dust. The children bring germs. Nothing is ever clean for longer than an hour. I can never shower till I bleach everything first. It is all noise and dirt and air that is making me sick, but I'm a guest. I'm supposed to be grateful. I can say nothing. I'm supposed to be grateful. This country lied to me, told me it would serve, protect, praise my merit, sing my songs, and all the while maintaining my sense of pride in this place. Turns out, I'm simply a guest that is supposed to be grateful. Nothing stays clean for a day, an hour. Rough and terrible times banner the news, what feels like every 5 minutes. I fought. I did. I fight. I do, but nothing stays clean. It just gets dirtier and I can't sleep. The noise of losing all my rights and most of my freedom will not let me sleep. Apparently, this place was never meant for me. And that is a very hard thing to learn, a harder thing to know, almost impossible to live with. I cannot bite my tongue till it bleeds, but I do have to break my heart that way, till it bleeds. The noise and filth in the air is making me sick. I shower in hot water scented of water lilies or roses, but the stench of government breaks through it all. The stink of being lied to all my life breaks through it all. I measured it once. Every breathing space. The space shrinks and screams and is smaller with every move I make, every move we make. But this is for our good, they say. This will save us, save this country, they say. They cheat, they lie, they rape our souls, our minds, and steal our gratitude by any means necessary because we are Black and brown and women here. Simply guess who should work and suffer and shut up. If the pain is more, then we were promised this place is not ours. It never was. I doubt it ever will be. I've been lied to all my life, it seems. And my daring to howl and protest is frowned on, beaten down, relegated to my place. This is not our country. We are being told our contributions mean nothing. Our lives mean less. You see, we are Black and brown and women here. We are only servants and trouble and problems and guests here. And we're supposed to be grateful. We're supposed to be grateful.
Thank you, Stacey. Have you finished? That was a wonderful piece. Thank you so much.
Remarkable.
Yeah. Ooh, we're getting all the feels tonight, aren't we? I have got next up on the open mic, Palowski Moore. Are you ready?
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, I am.
Over to you.
Yes, I
Good.
am. Uh, let's see. I am going to share just two brief poems from a collection that I am actually orchestrating at the moment. The title of the collection is The Burned Wings of Blackbirds, and it, uh, it, it the collection will address issues and the legacy of slavery in America. So I'm just giving reference of when you hear the two poems where they're coming from, and these two poems are dedicated to those enslaved mothers who gave who gave birth to a legacy of people who continue to struggle and strive in our country. So it's ironic that I'm following. It's, it's an odd irony. So anyway, quickly, the first poem is titled Mama's Burden. The weeping willow sings the sway of the wind. Her shadow hovers, rushing streams, traveling stones, leaves green with sunlight flutter in gold reflection as the willow shelters the souls who swim and pass. The moments flicker with flashes of green, white, blue, all that fades. The wind dies and rises again. The tree flames like a shield, flaring with breath and life. And the second poem is titled Undertow. Above the river song, a weeping willow waves in serenade, the melody of memory. The poplar retort, reply of rope and flesh, burning tar heels that blacken blue skies, darker than the darkest night. Astronomy obstructed while white nights wield flames, light as heavenly bodies sweep barren space. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Palowski. Like you say, two very real and poignant poems. Thank you very much. We next have on the open mic Frank McMahon. Frank, over to you.
Yeah, good evening. Follow that. Two short poems, which originally began as one, but they've now developed a life of their own. Engraved. Engraved on smooth dressed stone, bare facts, messages of grief and love distilled to bland. Gravestone as a book's back cover, as though the quaffered script could do justice to the action verbs of triumph and default, adjectives of colour and opinion, narratives of slow walks through landscapes gnarled by weathers and misfortunes. Hic Jacquet, here lies. This life ends with burial or fire. There is the gall and honey of memories and reflections. How much of what was rendered still has value? Those elements which flourished into orchards, tenderness and exploration. A line of birdsong on a wintry branch. A line of birdsong on a wintry branch, as though water from a cold, clear spring fluting into the empty vessel of the air, prompting the woman to halt her pensive walk, to gather and repeat the bell-bright notes to passers-by who asked, "Where from?" "I cannot see, but can you hear? The wind has it whole," and the wind may repeat, even though the bird has flown. The branch will remain, the bird may yet return. But what can sight add that the song does not contain? The bird unseen sang again. The wind returned, folded the sounds, rose above the bland frosted fields. Released, released, released.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Frank. Oh, I like it when applauses burst like that. It's really nice visual there. I don't know how you do it. Amazing. Jude, you're next on the open mic. Are you ready?
I am ready. Thank you, Kate. This has been very strong stuff so far this evening. So I will do my best to follow on. I got two short ones. I guess they're both about fragments. Seeing is not believing. The old photographs are gone, although I suppose their residue may exist in some landfill. A curl of faded summers, a smile overexposed. Some of those snapped lives are gone also to dust, although others persist as far as I know. And I have no regrets when I recall the act of making albums into trash, stamping on odd images that dropped their mounts detached, my boot heel hard against some version of the past, nothing stuck in the gutters of my soul. And this is Adrift in the Age of Dictators. Ships are trees, bodies are water, heart songs are fire. We are become liquid, this world our container. I take breath from the bottom of the sky, watch bodies fall, a billion cadences, rhythms of lost years, particles of plastic sift through air, sweet as civet or salt-tinged, resting or emotion, catching light. They drift, an ocean of crescent-shaped specks where seabirds flail, remote, entangled, moons in the stomachs of birds. Thank you.
And all too soon, Jude ended. Amazing. I agree with Lou. We could listen to you all evening. Beautiful. And as if luck would have it, Lou, you're up next.
Okay,
Are you
thank
ready?
you. Yes, so most of my poems are funny, but I seem to have lost my sense of humour recently, so I'm sure it'll come back. But so this first one is called Best Shoes. You've got your best shoes on. You've even ironed a shirt. I've not seen you in that coat for ages, the one you bought for work. We always joked, didn't we, that in life's game of roulette, misfortune hadn't jabbed its bony finger at us yet. Endless corridors sucking us inside, a hospital grey that Farrow and Ball would struggle to describe. Everyone looks ill. We're caught up in somebody's mistake. Anxious relatives looking stoic, inhale yet another sharp intake. Watery disinfectant fills our nostrils with fear, and there's a bland backdrop to the words you never want to hear. Unfamiliar names not found in our vocabulary. Idle abbreviations describing yet another abnormality. It crushed me to see. It crushed me that to receive the worst news, you'd ironed a shirt and were wearing your best shoes. Okay. So this one is I know there's an awful lot going on in the world at the moment, but I'm going to take us back to D-Day. We were talking about remembrance quite a lot, and I just had this image in my mind of a soldier's hand plunging into the beach on D-Day, and it made a hole, and the hole filled where his hand was filled with water. And I wrote this poem. I just wondered whether he was mowed down by a barrage of bullets, and just wondering whether any comfort might be found in the sand and the water on that beach that you had, as you take your last breath. I fell into the sand. It tightened with a knowing grip, my fingers holding steady should this crumbling lifeline slip. The whispering ground that caught me as I dropped to my knees urges wait a while as she confides, fate brought you here to me. My tangled body proof that life and love are cold, yet to be gifted one more moment makes the weakest man grow bold. How does this long neglected friend offer such a welcome embrace? How does she drown the noise out in this God-forsaken place? What will 100 years of looking back to this moment bring? One more second in the sand as the bullets around me sing. Be still, she whispers, there's no comfort found in haste. Lay your cheek upon my skin, feel its coolness on your face. If you take just one more breath, allow your ears the sweetest sound of all that brought you to me on this your hallowed ground. She takes me in her arms and says, I'll wait with you by and by. I'll tell them this is where you fell, and with you I will forever lie. There we go. More cheerful next time, I promise.
Oh, every emotion is welcome here. Thank you. And yeah, very emotive work. Thank you. Okay, we are at the last open micer for the first half, and that is going to be Beth Brooke. Beth, are you ready?
Yes, I think so. Well, I'll just call them up anyway. So we know what it's like at the moment, not great. I have 3 really short poems, and they're all about what's going on in the Middle East. Those of you who know me well will know there are reasons for that. I went to Iran in 2016, so I'm feeling that a bit. First one is called The News Bulletin Shows Us the State of Things. Our world is over, he says, walking over the rubble, walking over what used to be olive trees. And he gestures with his hand to where might be the most instructive place to look, inviting your eyes to see whatever remains of his old life, whatever is still standing, though in truth, there is nothing. A couple of years ago, you might remember that there was a woman who went and stood in the atrium at the mosque in Isfahan and sang, which is forbidden in Iranian law. So this is called She Sings in the Mosque at Isfahan. It is a thing of beauty. Blue-tiled facade mirrors the loveliness of heaven, proclaims the 99 names of God, the most sacred, the merciful, the first, the last, the most loving, the embodiment of peace. Stone floor of the atrium is worn by centuries of feet. It is the colour of the desert, the colour of honeycomb, the colour of halva, of caramel, the sweetness of faith. There stands a woman, veiled and clothed in the silence of a law insensible to joy. A single woman becomes in that moment all women, in her courage and her love, when she steps out from the silence and sings in praise of her creator, sings in her courage and her love, a single voice offered as a gift to the first, the last, the most sacred, the merciful, the most loving, the embodiment of peace. And this last poem is called Nowruz in Shiraz. So Nowruz is Zoroastrian New Year. So it's round about Easter. Certainly that's when it was when we were there in 2016. The morning air is laced with the smell of dill and fenugreek, faces bright with celebration, pansies in playful crowds nod in the breeze. We sit on the steps of the tomb of Hafez, our arms full of calendula and orange blossom, burnt gold petals to heal the hurts of winter, and sensuous white for love. Thank you.
Oh, Beth, transported us in many ways there. Thank you. Well, folks, I am excited and delighted to be able to introduce Chloë Jacquet. Chloë is a multicultural, multifaceted, multi-slam winning spoken word artist. With a preference for straight talking and a penchant for rhymes and opinions, Chloe's poetry is both entertaining and meaningful. Her work deals with a wide variety of subjects ranging from workplace discrimination and mental health to the pressures placed on modern men via her short-term relationship with a biscuit. I hope you read that one tonight, Chloë, because I'm now going, what's that? Chloë thinks name dropping is really uncool. As well as her own headline slots at poetry nights and festivals across the UK, she supported artists such as Elvis McGonigal, Joelle Taylor and Holly McNeish, and her work has featured several times on the BBC. Her Arts Council funded film Chemotherapy Airways was launched in February this year to rave reviews and can be watched at a link I'm sure Jason will put in the chat, but if you're not seeing that, it's www.chemotherapyairways.com. And her first collection, Take It By the Line, is published by Black Eyes Publishing UK and is available now. Chloë, we're absolutely excited and delighted, as I said, to have you here.
Thank you very much, Kate. I wasn't going to do any of the poems that were referenced in my bio, but because you asked, I will quickly do the one about my short-term relationship with the biscuit. This is called Woman Seeking, and it's basically my online dating profile. I like them dark. Fair is okay too, but not ginger. I prefer chunky to thin. Age doesn't bother me as long as they're not past it, you know. Rich is nice, full on sugar daddy, and they do have to be sweet. I don't mind a hard exterior as long as they're soft on the inside, but not broken or flaky. I can't have them crumbling or falling apart the second they get themselves into hot water. I'm pretty voracious, so it probably won't last very long. Basically, I'm looking for a very, very short-term relationship with a biscuit. And as Kate said, that is in my collection, Take It By the Line. But actually, I was going to do a very different set today because, as Jason, I think, or Kate mentioned, we're going to be showing my new film after the break, and we're also fundraising for the cancer charity Maggie's. So my set is going to be all around my experience of having breast cancer. So content warning, we're going to be talking about cancer. There's going to be reference to cancer treatment, some reference to surgery. And yeah, so I'm going to start from the beginning and work myself to the end because these sorts of things are best done chronologically. But as a writer and a poet, I felt writing helped me a lot through my treatment, so that's why I want to share some of my writing with you. So in November 2021, in the shower, I felt a lump in my left breast. So this first teeny tiny poem is called Lump. He rests his head on my chest over the lump I haven't told him about yet. So I gave myself a couple of days to make sure it was still there and I hadn't imagined it. And then I took myself off to the GP. Now, she reckoned it was a cyst, but she said that just to be sure, she'd like to refer me to the breast clinic just in case. So off I went for some testing. I spend the morning pinging from one waiting room to another, from one set of stairs to another, from one consultation room to another. Each time I return to one of the waiting rooms, there are fewer women waiting. I'm in a knockout event, taking on all the breast tests: palpation, ultrasound, mammogram, biopsy. I'm passing them all, leveling up. My competitors fall away, gone home, and I'm still going up and down stairs, in and out of rooms. I'm beating them all. I'm winning. Next level, the boss. So then, having had all the tests, then I had to wait. Sharpshooter. Maybe it'll be like in a movie. A man in a black Stetson will sharpshoot me in the heart, but the lump will stop the bullet. I will stand, legs wide, head high, stock still in a deserted street, surrounded by swirling dust, tumbleweed rolling behind me. I will reach in and pull out the bullet, with the tumour attached to it, and say, "You did me a favour, gringo." Then before he has time to react, I will shoot him between the eyes, precise as a cactus needle. Before he's even hit the ground, I will throw the bloody lump with the bullets onto his dead body for the vultures to clean up, then ride away into the sunset to sew up my healed breast, alone, leaning against a rock, looking over a canyon of what could have been. And then came time for the diagnosis. I pretty much knew what was coming from the moment I found the lump, but still. Diagnosis. The elephant in the room is hard, yellowy white, gristly, skinless, granular flesh exposed. Hungry, in a hurry to grow as large as it can, even though it risks destroying the room. So I was diagnosed with cancer, the big C. Why do people call it the big C? Is it as bad as the other C word? We don't call Alzheimer's disease the big A, heart disease the big HD. The big C sounds like something a guy says before sending a dick pic. Hey, sexy, want to see my big C? It gets whispered behind hands with averted eyes. It catches in people's throats. It's not fucking Lord Voldemort or the Candyman or Bloody Mary. It's not going to suddenly appear because you said it out loud. It's called cancer. I have cancer. So my immediate reaction when I was told was, all right, what are we going to do about it? But then I had to tell my family, and that was really hard. Everyone around me is falling apart. I prop them up. I'm the center pole of a circus tent. Everyone is spilling love, making the floors wet. Now I'm losing my footing. So I was told that the tumour was small, it was caught early, so I was probably only going to need a lumpectomy and 5 doses of radiotherapy. I'd be very busy until Easter, and then I'd be on my way. But by then it was Christmas, so I had to wait before I could kick off treatment. I stroll in the park. All around, children are playing with their presents. Scooters, bikes with handlebars still adorned with tinsel. Adults show off new trainers and coats. I have my Christmas gift with me too. I doubt anyone wants to see it. So then it was time for surgery. All of a sudden, there is a team of strangers working together to save my life. People I have never met. They could leave me to it. Survival of the fittest, after all. They don't know about me, my family, my work, my hobbies, yet they care. They're rallying around, spending time and effort to keep me alive. They are fighting for my life. I'm just along for the ride. My mind struggles with this, but I am so very grateful. And that was actually my first ever surgery and my first ever general anaesthetic. And even though a lumpectomy is a pretty minor surgery for me, it really did feel like a big deal. Something has been taken out of me. Flesh, tissue, blood. A part of me, although faulty, has been removed. Left in, it would have killed me. In how long, I'm not sure. But it was not on my side. And yet the thought of this removal, of scooping out a part of my body, gives me a sickening feeling. Makes other parts of me curl in on themselves. It's almost as though they might fill the hollows left behind, reorganize, make me whole and like nothing ever happened. But then I started recovering. He, me, and the tits went to sea to take in the air. After weeks reclined, it felt divine to use my body. We walked, we talked, we ate, we drank, we breathed. We suspended reality, laughed till wobbly-kneed, hiked a muddy coastal path, won prizes in the amusement arcade, each worth a damn sight less than the money we played, but it didn't matter. We listened to the purr of the pebbles as the waves stroked them. They know what will happen. They were trying to tell us, but we couldn't interpret the sounds, and in that moment, we didn't care. So I got the results of that first surgery, and unfortunately the margins of the tumour they extracted were not clear, so it meant that there was a risk that a few cancer cells might have been left behind. Also, one of the sentinel lymph nodes that had been removed in the first surgery had shown signs of spread of cancer, so I had to have a second surgery to remove a little bit more tissue around where they'd originally removed the tumour and to take all the lymph nodes out from under my left arm to check for further spread. So this is second surgery. My battered body, barely recovered, is about to be sliced and diced once more. Its depths explored. Handfuls of lymph nodes plucked from me like ripe fruit. A fistful of flowers gifted to a petri dish. And soon I was able to remove my bandages. Here I am, a satsuma peeling dressings off myself again, revealing the steri-strip pith beneath. I leave them for now. 1 layer a day is enough. I know what to expect this time. A few short spiky threads that haven't dissolved yet, jagged suture line, puckered skin, hardened tissue, dark channels that tell the story of what shaded this particular fruit as it grew on its tree. It's purely cosmetic though. Inside is still ripe and sweet. And so then I have to go back to the breast clinic for the results of the second surgery. She's talking to me about lymph nodes, cancer cells, and margins. The news is good. They got it all. It hasn't spread further. Her eyes are smiling. All I can see is the little golden polar bear pendant that hangs from her neck against her chest. She leaves us. The nurse pops out to fetch us the next pile of leaflets. Alone in the room, we high-five. So because the cancer had started spreading, the treatment plan changed and I embarked on chemotherapy. And it's really hard to describe what chemo feels like, but I had a go. It's like being drunk and hit over the back of the head at once. I feel like my body has been stretched around me and I don't fit it anymore. I'm 8 feet tall, looking down at my feet that no longer seem to step in line. I sway inside the skin, assuming and hoping one day it'll snap back. My bones have lost their firmness. My legs jostle beneath me, relying on instinctive habit to keep me upright and going. Information bobs past me, bouncing across the surface of my brain but not sinking in. My grey matter impermeable. There are days when even getting up the stairs takes a superhuman effort. Breathless, heart racing, pulling myself up the banister like someone twice my age. Moving boxes in the garage takes superhuman strength. The spiders look at me with their translucent, spindly limbs and they laugh at me. as they pull themselves up their threads. So it was at about this point that I wrote the poem that I then turned into the film we'll look at later. So I would try to go for a walk every day unless I was feeling really awful, but I dread to think what people saw when they saw this strange, breathless, sweaty woman walking slowly, leaning to one side with squiffy eyes, because for some reason my balance was really messed up, so I would always walk with a strange lean. But I took the time it took. I rest until I realise I have a bit of energy. Next thing, I'm bouncing with glee. I moon him through the glass door, giggling mischievously and singing a little taunt before eventually laying back on the sofa, energy spent. Today, I am a toddler. So I chose to do this thing called cold capping, where basically they freeze your scalp in an effort to try and save as much of your hair as possible, but still, I did lose a lot of my hair. In France, they say, il pleut des cordes. It's raining ropes. My hair is raining in ropes from my head. Torrential curtains of black, caught on my hands, caught on my clothes, all over the floor. I was on a 3-weekly cycle of chemo, which meant that whilst the first week to 10 days were really rough, by the 3rd week I'd be able to function and to almost feel normal. A week in and I'm starting to feel like myself again. The hint of normal makes me feel giddy with joy. I do things, mundane tasks like replenishing the salt in the dishwasher and going grocery shopping. I even choose a cute outfit. When he comes home, I am bouncy and smiling, drunk on normal. I make him dinner. Later he says, "Come here," and he holds me, like something precious lost and then found. So we would always make a point of arranging some kind of little trip in that, or day out in that 3rd week when I was feeling more normal. And there was one particularly reminiscent time when it was my birthday and we went to Oxford, and I hadn't drunk any alcohol since my diagnosis pretty much. But because it was my birthday, I was like, oh, sod it, I'll have a drink. But it seems that my body was so poisoned with random chemicals that the alcohol didn't even touch the sides. So I drank all kinds of things and didn't seem to get drunk. So I'm not recommending drinking alcohol whilst having medical treatment, but it was just an interesting effect. I had a great time. So then I reached the end of my chemo and I had my usual 3 weeks to recover before going on to the next treatment. So this poem is How I Know I'm Feeling Better. How I know I'm feeling better. When I forget something, I am quite prepared to go back upstairs to get it. I get the full range of flavours in dishes. Haribo are no longer salty, but sweet. There's no more tingling in my hands and feet. My body feels the right size. I no longer have wonky eyes, and they barely water anymore. Also, he hates the word, so I sing it with extra gusto. Pubes! Pubes are coming back! So then, after my 6 doses of chemo, I went on to have 20 doses of radiotherapy, which I tolerated very well. That was a walk in the park for me after chemo, and I was really fascinated by the machine. So I wrote this. This is the radiotherapy beast. Bearing tungsten rods that look like teeth, a friendly monster grins down at me. A huge grey face, a perfect round face. Sorry, a huge grey head, a perfect round face. It looms in this room, a chilly place. It moves its mouth into different shapes, rotating its head as if to say, "Let me look at you from every side. You can't see what's happening, but trust me, child. I have magic breath. I can transform air. Let me blow where it hurts and heal you there." So then came the after, and to my surprise, whilst I had been expecting to feel celebratory, I felt absolutely dreadful. I was expecting to feel better by now. I should be feeling better. Others are desperate for me to feel better. I try to move on, but I remain on the spot. One step depressed, one step afraid, one step lost, another step frustrated, another step impatient. This trudge is taking me nowhere and leaves me burdened with guilt. I've been looking towards the finishing line for so long. I never realised its ribbon could be flypaper, that the tarmac would become tar. And it's at this point that I turned to the cancer charity Maggie's that we are fundraising for tonight. And I joined their Where Now course, which is for people who have reached the end of their treatment and are feeling a bit lost and struggling. And it changed my life. Now I look around, I see there are other people here. People like me, strong, who coped, who thought they were done but found themselves stuck. We discover that we are not unusual. The adventure didn't end. There is more to go through and we can do it as a team. We reach out to each other. Hands grip wrists and forearms. Our shoulders square and our bodies lean. We pull, we tug, we support when we trip. Our feet release from the black ooze and we take tentative steps onto solid ground. Our shoes are still heavy, but we've rediscovered hope. So now I'm doing okay. I believe cancer and the effects of its treatment are something you have to live with for the rest of your life, and it can be tricky. For example, I've just found out that because of the meds that I'm on now, I am suffering from osteopenia, which is the phase before osteoporosis in my spine. So yay, more drugs. But I'd be lying if I said that my cancer treatment had been 100% hell. Some of it was really tough, particularly as I had some very other difficult stuff going on in my life. But I also had some really good times between treatments, such as drinking all the alcohol in Oxford. And yeah, there was some really joyous time, like appreciating some resemblance of normal and just really basic things suddenly becoming so beautiful, like going to Tesco's. And I've gained from it too. For example, I knew that chemo would affect my sense of taste, but I didn't realise that some of those changes would remain. So to finish, I'm just going to share this final little poem, which is things I've gained from cancer. Strength, a certain wisdom, new friends, a new capacity to love, to listen, to empathise, new priorities, a better understanding of the importance of life, of living it in the moment, and most unexpectedly, a brand new love of celery. Thank you.
Always making us laugh in the last line, Chloe. Amazing. And thank you so much for taking us all on that journey with you. It meant a lot. Please, everybody, show your appreciation for our amazing headliner, Chloë Jacquet.
Thank you.
Beautiful. I don't think we were able to put lots of comments in the chat, Chloe. You had us absolutely captivated from start to finish.
Not to worry, not to worry. Stick around to see the film after the break, that's all I'll say.
Absolutely, but I think you'll see that people are popping things in the chat now.
I'll take it up, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing. Yeah, so like Chloe said, we're going to take a break, but afterwards we'll come back and we'll see the film and we'll get the second half of the open micers online. I have asked if I could just do one thing before we go to the break. I've asked Jason and Chloe if it's okay just to read a poem from Genevieve Ray's book. Genevieve, as you know, passed very suddenly, and she was a very much loved Crafty Crow's host. She was my Poetic Edge poetry sister, and I really want to honour her life and the best way of doing that is reading one of her stunning poems from this collection. I've been reading it all afternoon. It's been incredibly emotional. I've chosen this one, and I hope I do it justice. But honestly, please, if you've not read Jen's poetry, please get her book. This poem is from my great-grandmother's hands. And there's a quote before the poem. Do things external which fall upon thee distract thee? Give thyself time to learn something new and good, and cease to be whirled around. Marcus Aurelius quote found in my great-grandmother's book. We all almost missed each other. The generation gap that was just wide enough between myself and great-grandmother. Like the others in Mi Familia, she was an avid reader, as best as one can glean from a sepia photograph. To me, she's right here, speaking the words of an emperor, a greatly adored philosopher. This memory is just tactile. I dream she flipped heavy brown pages with a furrowed brow of consideration. The binding is giving way to time and concentration. Much loved are the thoughts of one man to two women. To this girl who is passionate for the cradle of the ages, our stricken pens are our saviours. We find ourselves in our ancestors' hopes. I want to think of this book as boon, promise, and obligation, phrasing ethics and objections to the next children of our lineage. And Jen leaves an amazing collection of poetry that I recommend to you all. We're going to take a break of about 10 minutes and we'll welcome you back after that. Please go and enjoy the biscuit of your choice. Okie dokie, folks, welcome back to the second half of Crafty Crows. We have got an exciting continuation of Chloe's poetry feature with a film which is going to be shown shortly. Have I got any announcements to share with you? Yes, I have. Crafty Crows on the 1st of April, and no, it's not a joke, will feature Clive Oseman, although he may throw in a few jokes for us, Clive, might you? No, he's saying no, he won't. So come along and don't laugh, Clive. And then on the 6th of May, we've got Kate Noakes. So we've got some great features coming up soon, and you know you love the open mic as well. So come along and share your poetry with us too. It says at this point that I should be sharing a poem, but to be honest, I'm a little bit emotional from what I shared before. So if it's okay, Jason, I'm going to skip me and move on to the first poet from our open mic in the second half, which, if I'm not wrong, Michael Sindler, you've now joined us, so we'd love for you to take the mic. Are you ready?
Yeah, it's great to be here. Sorry to be late. Really sorry to have missed part of Chloe's presentation. What I caught was just absolutely fantastic. So powerful, so humane. I'm like going through a bunch of old stuff lately, and someone else mentioned something on Facebook about rock lobster. So there's a poem I wrote about that a while back. Rock lobster. We never had more fun than flopping to the floor and rising wobbly armed as Fred and Kate belted out the chorus and Ricky strummed all four of his guitar strings while Cindy yokoed all the sea creatures before we crashed harder than waves on the beach and woke up in the morning on the living room shag, curled up where we last fell with whoever fell there with us, wanting nothing more than to do it all over again. And again, just doing old stuff. This is called Mountain. It's a sonnet. Nothing cuts silence cleaner than wind. Nothing lies more than memory. Nothing cuts deeper than a lost friend. Nothing lies further than you from me. Nothing draws miracles out of mist. Nothing is held that is not released. Nothing makes here and not coexist. Nothing turns ash back into leaf. Nothing prepares for the unexpected. Nothing is a bigger joke than fate. Nothing connects what is disconnected. Nothing can teach a mountain how to wait. Nothing holds a place open for the bereft. Nothing is enough when it's all that's left. Okay, thank you all very much. Looking forward to hearing everybody else.
Thank you so much, Michael, for taking my slot there. I really appreciate it. And now back to the agenda, which is that we have the Chemotherapy Airways film next. I'm going to hand over to Jason to get that technically done.
I am going to share my screen and hopefully it'll work. Let me, share sound. Give me a wave if the audio doesn't come through. It starts silently, but it will kick in. Here we go. I'm hoping you can now see a black screen. Fabulous. Hello. Welcome aboard this Chemotherapy Airways flight to survival. My name is Floro Urasil and I will be heading your cabin crew alongside my colleagues epirubicin, cyclophosphamide and docetaxel. Our pilot in the cockpit is Captain NHS.
Our flight time will be approximately 6 months.
The captain has just switched on the fasten infusion sign. Please stow your emotional baggage either under the seat in front of you or in one of the overhead compartments. Please use caution when opening these during the flight, as the contents might come spilling out due to the emotional ride you're on. Now please take your seat and buckle up in preparation for your journey. We will now be taking you through our safety demonstration and kindly ask that you give us the complete attention your foggy brain can spare. Your IV is fastened here, here, or here. There are several emergency rest points on board this aircraft. 2 on the sofa, 2 on the bed, plenty along the floor. Please take a few moments to locate your nearest one. Please also take a moment to refer to the safety card in the seat back pocket in front of you for details of the brace position, which closely resembles being steamrollered. In the likely event of the cabin losing pressure and your hair falling out, wigs will drop from above. Pull one towards you, place over your head and breathe normally. The wig will not inflate. Please learn how to fit your own wig before helping others. Life pyjamas are located underneath your seat. We recommend removing the life pyjamas from their container now. placing them over your body and fastening them securely. They can be adjusted by pulling on the toggle at the waistband. Do not remove the life pyjamas until exiting the aircraft. Your mobile phone can be used as a light and a whistle to attract attention. Toilets can be found at the front and rear of the aircraft. You may need them more than usual, or less. We have a wide variety of entertainment available to you on board this aircraft. We particularly recommend the very vivid dreams and the mindless daytime TV. Our in-flight entertainment also includes an assortment of games such as Breathless Staircase Climb, Stop the Palpitations, Do Up the Button with those tingly fingers, and the classic Dodge the Death Germs. There is likely to be much turbulence along our route, so do expect some nausea. We have a full range of antiemetics available to you from our complimentary bar. You can also choose from our wider range of duty-free medication, each designed to combat the side effects of the one before. We will now be coming through the cabin with your choice of evening meal. Chicken or beef? They all taste the same. And for those of you with mouth ulcers, heartburn or indigestion, your choices are stingy or burny.
Dear passengers, we will shortly be arriving at Survival.
For onward travellers, upon arrival, please follow information signs for transfers to surgery, radiotherapy and hormone therapy. Our ground team will be delighted to help you with their endless care, patience and attention. On behalf of Chemotherapy Airways and the entire crew, I would like to congratulate you for completing this journey, and we truly, truly hope to never see you on board with us again.
Well, That was incredible, Chloe. Again, the comments, finding humour in the cancer journey, and yeah, incredible. So well choreographed. Amazing. Please, anyone, share what you are also feeling after that. In the comments, you can see things. Come off mute, show your appreciation. Incredible.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Yeah, the hearts and the claps are still coming up the screen, which is amazing. Okay, back to our open mic, and yeah, hearts all over. Love it. All right, so we are on to the open micers again in the second half. I'm going to hand over to Ashley Edge. Ashley, are you ready?
I am. I'm so glad that you survived, mate. Like, seriously. I think it's
Same.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you will be. But we as a community are really, really fucking glad as well. So
thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna read Medicat, but it's a new version of Medicat that I wrote quite recently. Because there's a Medicat for all occasions now. So this is about grief, just so that you know. I'm going to that, moment where we have to say goodbye, and processing that. And I always have a cat, so I'm going to read Medicat, and Leonard's going to read it for you. He's not really. I'm going to read it on his behalf, of course. But yeah, smile and allow your sadness breath, for the one with the purr is here to lay upon you, to knead at your chest with open claws and whiskers a twitch. Here with you in your grief, sit still, breathe. My heartbeat matches yours, and my purr syncs with your lungs. Come, sit down. Let me swish my tail in your mouth. Be annoyed by fur on your tongue. Don't look at the world beyond. Keep still, my precious human. Let me drown your distress with feline happiness. I am your sponge, here to soak up your sorrow. So let me be your sole focus. Let me guide you from your cliff, stop you falling, stop you crumbling, stop you crashing into ocean. Let me guide you from the pain that scalds tender skin, that bubbles in your stomach, that besieges your brain until it breaks. Come, sit down. Let me purr upon your chest. Let me groom that grief away with sandpaper lips. Come, sit down. Let me purr upon your chest. Thank you.
Thank you, Ash. I think actually that was just what we all needed. Appreciate you and your poetry and bringing your Medicat to us all. Thank you. And next on the open mic we have Ed, Poetastic. Ed, are you ready?
I'm ready because my name is Eddie. Thank you so much. Thank you, our wonderful host I love the most, deserve the toast that goes coast to coast. Hello, everyone. My name is Ed Poetastic. Hope you're fantastic. Please get in the time to go join my rhyme for all you so sublime. I got one poem, so I won't take too much time. This is called Sea Drenched Reminder. I've been on the ship for a while. Being a sailor isn't my style. The salt water is going on my face while sharks start to chase. I did meet a mermaid once. Her voice packed a punch. She was a beautiful pearl, the prettiest gem in the world. I gave her my deepest heart, stripped it completely apart. My carcass is baking in the sun. The tides are saying you aren't done. I swim and swim up to shore, the sandy paradise I adore. I'm on a deserted island. I clap both my hands. I found a crystal bottle. What's this mini novel? The words came to my head, the scribbles thoughtfully read. Life is a vast, raging sea. Don't let it swallow your humanity. I know it's not fair. The sea doesn't care. Use the salt to heal your wounds. Don't sit there and be a buffoon. Thank you.
Rhymetastic, Ed Poetastic, thank you very much. We love your stuff. We can't get enough. Okie dokie. Oh, you'd set me off now. Next on the open mic, we have Lesley Constable. Lesley, it's been too long. I can't wait to hear you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. It's really good to be here. Okay. So, yeah, I just, I'm in an A mood, so I'm going to read two A poems. One of them is called The Animate Saturated. Sodden, we have been rained on too much, not yet liquid, not yet soaked to the finest despair. The tips of us, the farthest extremities, the core value dry. It will take over only the slow baking in the night oven to make us plump up, rising to full volume. The night, yet noisy with possibilities of who to blame, assigning fault, the assessment of damage. I argue the oven did not explode and splatter us across the walls of the kitchen. You asked me if you could paint it white when I ask you in response whatever could be wrong with pistachio green. The question sincere in nature, I realize on both sides. It is a ploy, the dampness seeping in through the bricks. The walls now slippery wet with the growth of spores inside. I have promised you I will not yet turn liquid, no matter how hard it rains in this desert. The rain to bounce on the pavement, so hard, the velocity as it hits pavement to ricochet, reach itself upward, no longer as liquid, but forming as ice, white, which does not absorb heat, yet reflect the kitchen to remain unwarm, and us not yet dried out, not absorbing the warmth of embrace in the night kitchen. It is magic, the witch that is needed, the formula which parts skies, cleaving valleys, forming cliffs, burrows of thought, there in place where there was too much thinking that was done. It is enough, and it is time to wave your goodbyes, to leave this island for the mainland, walk across the imagined straits, the passage that was on foot, rather than swim this time. I myself will get no more wet than I am now, sodden in the missing of staying when it is time to leave. I listen with my lungs and close my eyes, and I am one, gone from this night kitchen. Another watery one. I was told I write a lot about water. I suppose I do. This one's called Awash. Awash, lost in the too much, underground. The snakings of that was is being quiet in itself, not loud, not seeking, not wanting attention. You, the spelunker with your headlamp seeking in the cavern, the darkness, defying that which glitters in the dark. Even in the dark, your silent incantations of self cajoles the spelunker to look this way, to look that way. The gleam of the rays, the headlamp not finding you. You harbor yourself, nourishing you deep underground in the darkness, fostering yourself perhaps, implanted, allowing the essence of you to drip, drip as stalactite anchored in rocks above you, and cling as your essence, the underground river of yourself, yours, the river Styx, the passageways under rock connecting. The boat is there. You board to take this night journey, the passage, the glow of release, inside radiating out, casting shadows on the walls, the sheer faces of time compressed in rock, and on the night river, you recover yourself. You recover yourself each night on the night river, each night, all nights when you dream of the freedom that is yours, you, your freedom, given you at your birth by those, you know them, some winged, some horned, some not. You shout your freedom aloud in the interior to echo through the caverns of thought. our thought, our lives here on the night river, joined in flow, and you are your own as you are us. You are our own as us on the night river, and we, you, me, us are free. Shout, 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 the all repeating echo in the dark, for you are free. That's all.
We were transported with you along the water of your poetry. I love it. There's been a little addition in our running order. If you have a look in the chat, we've got Martin next, and then Rob Punton. So, Martin, you're next on the open mic.
Hello, good night, everyone. I'm gonna read Spanish, my natural language, and then English. So the name of first poem is Respuestas. Las respuestas están en el centro del aire que respiramos, en nuestro entorno, dentro y fuera. Suelen aparecer como un huracán o torbellino. A veces son tan tranquilos como no se sienten, mas sí inquietan. Entre más fuerte nos cuestionamos a nosotros mismos. Somos los árboles, unos se derriban por la fuerza del viento, cayendo y son olvidados. Otros se resisten y luchan y están al final y encontrarán respuestas. Unas no son convincentes, otras nos lastiman más, pero miles nos convencen erróneamente. Mas está en nosotros decidir qué nos conviene más para comprender mejor quiénes somos y que en nuestro vivir día a día, entonces somos mejores, por lo que más nos conviene y conviene. Así suavizamos nuestras dudas, mas siempre será un misterio preguntarnos quién somos y qué queremos y dónde voy. Y lo más fuerte, ¿por qué nací? ¿Y cuál es mi destino? Mi propósito es ser un mejor ser, amado y amar. Mi preferencia es ser aceptado, pero no moriré por lo contrario. Más bien trabajaré para que eso pase. Aunque lo mejor sería aceptarme a mí mismo tal como soy. Solo vivir, hacer el bien sin mirar a quién, sin esperar nada a cambio. Porque eso llegará solo. De las personas que amé, respeten y acepten como soy, de verdad, así sentiré el aire fresco en mi cara y alma.
Okay, I'm going to read it in English. Answers. The answers are in the center of the air we breathe, in our environment, inside and out. They often appear like a hurricane or whirlwind. Sometimes they are so calm that they are not felt, but they disturb. The stronger we question ourselves, we are like trees. Some are knocked down by the force of the wind, falling and forgotten. Others resist and fight. There is the end, and they find answers. Some are not convincing, others hurt us more, but thousands convince us wrongly. But it is up to us to decide what is best for us to better understand who we are and what we want in our daily life. Then we manage ourselves by what combines and convinces us the most, and thus we soften our doubts. But it will always be a mystery. Ask ourselves who we are, what do I want, where am I going, and the strongest, why was I born, and what is my destiny? My purpose is to be a better loved being and to love. My preference is to be accepted, but I will not die for the opposite. Rather, I will work for that to happen. Even though the best thing would be to accept myself as I am, just live and do good without looking at who, without expecting anything in return, because that will come on its own from the people who love me, respect me, and accept me as I really am. That way, I will feel the fresh air on my face and in my soul. So that's for him. That's all for him.
I love the original and the translation. Both move us in different ways. Incredible. Thank you both. Okay. We are next going to have on the open mic Sue Finch. Sue, are you ready?
I actually am.
Oh, amazing.
So I've brought Evensong. Today I am in church again. I have come for silent reflection in one of my favourite seats, but it feels a little closer to the edge than usual. Shuffling footsteps in the aisle have me predicting who might be about to go past. Slowly and steadily, polar bears are settling into the pews around me. Their black claws lightly clasp copies of the Book of Common Prayer. One across the aisle is flicking the pages randomly as if speed reading. Another puffs out fishy breath in celebration of finding the right page. One on the row in front asks me if I'm going to sing today. I open my mouth to answer, but nothing comes out. The bear smiles encouragingly before turning back to face the altar. The pair who held one another's hands to get to the front row wink at me when the rector says we're going to the pub afterwards. There's a dubious stain on the opening pages of my hymn book. I keep it tightly shut, resist the urge to look again at the hint of fingerprints within the brown. And I am worried that the youngest bear is going to bite the gold cross, and I won't know whether to try to stop him or not. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Just one from you tonight. I was ready to hear worm moon poetry. Okay. So next on the open mic we have DK. DK, are you ready?
Yeah.
I'll tuck some accessibility arts information into the chat after my poem, like a responsible adult who's remembered their homework. This poem was written after observing that concern about people moving about too much rarely applies to someone from Solihull popping up in Coventry. They shout secure the border like it's holy writ, as if the earth itself agreed who's allowed to stand on it. Movement's the sin, apparently. That's the crime they've sniffed out, not hunger, war, or poverty, just people turning up. Fine. If walking's the problem, if arrival's the rot, why stop there? Why draw the line where it's politically hot? Check passports at the county edge, clipboards at the M25, sorry love, that accent's foreign, back to Kent, don't argue, just drive. No Scouser south of Birmingham, no Brunny sniffing Shoreditch rent, no Welshman east of Offers Dyke, unless he's learned to sound content. Quarantine the postcodes, keep cultures nicely stacked. God forbid a lad from Sunderland orders oat milk, it's an attack. Because if sameness is safety, and difference a crime, then freedom's just a rumour we outgrew with time. They say it's about values, about keeping things ours, But funny how ours keeps shrinking till it fits inside their fears and their hours. So frees us where we're born, postcode pure, neatly shelved, and if your logic eats the country whole, don't look shocked. You fed it yourself. Still, I've one small question, mate, before you tighten the tether. If moving is the menace, why stop there? Thank you kindly.
Thank you, DK. I'm pleased you've become a responsible adult. Yeah, follow DK and Accessibility Arts and everything they do. Incredible stuff. Rob's not too chuffed that you had a go at Solihull. Just letting you know that. I don't know, Rob, if you're ready to go on the open mic yet.
I am ready.
Well, why don't you pop up now and get your revenge?
Okay. One back for Solihull. Here we go. Right. So I've got a poem today called Our Team, and I'd like to dedicate this to the wonderful Charlotte. I'm on your team because you're on my team, on our team. Our team is a side full of complex conditions leading to complex issues. Our team is a mixture of different impairments brought together by need. Some of us have impairments were easy to spot. Others have impairments not so easy to see. Whether your impairment is easy to spot or hard to see, we are all disabled in the same way. Why is that so hard to recognize? Individually and united, we overcome many obstacles. We break down countless barriers others place in our path. It is easier to face issues as part of a team rather than trying to overcome them on our own. Quicker than we overcome the obstacles and break down the barriers, society constructs more elaborate obstacles, bigger barriers, ensuring we never achieve equity and parity in a world built by and for those who are non-disabled. This is what disables us, stops us in our tracks. We are a powerful team, however we seldom win. But there's never but playing is never pointless. We must always be seen to make our point. The game sometimes feels like a dance as we make 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards, forward 2 steps backwards. The music never stops. We all have weary bodies and tired minds from forever being forced to take part in the endless dance. There is no gender dominance in this dance partnership. No one worries about who takes the lead. If we make some advance, it is becoming a dirge, a dance towards death. We need to pick up our pace. We need to change our fate, take some control before it's too late. You refuse to open your eyes and see us, recognize our plight, our fight. You seem unable
feel more unwilling to uncover your ears, hear us, as we try, as we move you towards the light, the light of enlightenment and understanding. Yet you call us the disabled ones. Can someone please answer why is this? Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. As always, thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. Appreciate you. We are a few poets to go for the evening, and I'm checking where we are in the order. We're at Graeme next. Graeme Brand, are you ready to go?
Yes, I am. Good evening all. I've got two poems for you this evening. The first one is called Time Nor Tide. While time nor tide may never wait, I sometimes wish the whole world would. While on the days my mind will struggle, I need to catch up so that I could regain my place where I should be. So on the day that my brain works madly, I can leave time for others to see that I can be just as good as thee, if not much better as I could be, chaotic within my productive focus, ending up with much more than some to give out far into the world, and from the produce of my mind, and where chaos leads to every direction, but I will never quite know where. And and the second one I've got for you this evening is called Special Soul. Oh, heaven has claimed a special soul, creative in every way. They made the world a better place. Now heaven can share their joy. Each word they spoke as meeting, each sentence spoke to the heart. Now they are gone, the space is empty where they held apart. But now they have gained a place in heaven where only the best can have. Thank you.
Thank you, Graeme. Both great poems, and we've got a bit of a watery theme going on tonight, it seems. Oh, a burst of applause for you there. Two poets to go. So, Kathryn Southworth, you're next on our open mic. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm going to read a poem from my new pamphlet called How I Became a Witch. This is called Witch Alice. Follow the Turset trail, verses that mark the way among the lowering fells, beneath the gathering clouds, towards the grey towers of judgment and the coming remorse of rain. And there she stands by the road, prisoner of things we fear, shaped into the noose awaiting her, captured in brass and steel, silent as she was before the ambitious powers that could have set her loose. Oh, lady, you are back in the place they tore you away, that claims you now for its own, and fills those shackled hands you hold before you with new-cut abundance of bright flowers. Thank you.
Kathryn, do you have one more for us?
No, that's fine. Thank
That
you.
was, oh, okay. So I was waiting. I thought you were doing a very dramatic, poetic pause then. Okay, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, so Clive Oseman, are you ready to grace the open mic?
As ready as I'll ever be. Okay, so obviously, as always with me, this is deadly serious, and it's a true story. So that's all I can say. It's called Job Hunting. I wrote this today, so nobody's heard it yet. So you're all the guinea pigs. Right, job hunting. Having recently been sacked from my job in quality control at the sausage factory, I am now looking to do something a bit less conventional and more adventurous. Admittedly, at my age, I'm going to struggle to find something suitable. I thought of going back to the bomb disposal team, but as I was forced to leave under a cloud after my last stint, it's probably unlikely they'll have me back. I've tried to explain to them that it was not my fault that I had one of my involuntary twitches in my hand at such an inconvenient time. But at least I donated the hand that was blown off to the sausage factory, effectively putting food on the family's table. But the ablest bastards seem concerned that my other hand has such twitches too. Some people doubt the truth of my bomb disposal story, pointing to the fact that I have two hands. They say I'm a fantasist, but the fact is I invented a body part regeneration cream. Donald Trump used it on his ear to great effect after the assassination attempt, and my greyhound thinks it's the dog's bollocks. What I really wanted to do was to be an astronaut. Can you imagine the thrill? I had an interview with NASA. They said I met all their other requirements, but alas, I was too old, cheeky bastards. They say they are so keen to have me they will try to get the age limit raised, but they are unlikely to succeed. So what are my options? The King has written to me offering to have Armitage bumped off and install me as the Poet Laureate, but I'm fiercely anti-monarchy and I don't drink sherry, so I told him to get stuffed and advised him that his ears had overdosed on my regeneration cream. I could just continue sitting on the sofa drinking lager and watching the racing. I described this job as beer gut enhancement technician, and though it is not hard work, I am losing too much money on the horses. Maybe I should start a tipping service. I tried my luck at a modelling agency and they told me to try again near Halloween. I applied to the National Crime Agency and volunteered to assassinate Trump. They said that's not normally what they do, but in this case I could go to the back of the queue. I applied for a job at Ramblers and at the Ramblers Association, but after I had rambled on for half hour, they said I'd misunderstood the role I was applying for. So here I am, unemployed, almost unemployable, and enhancing my beer gut. I may just get a job as a traffic warden, turn a blind eye to ordinary cars, and let down the tyres on posh twat cars. I've always been a rebel, me. Honest. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Clive. A few little giggles there over some of your the Ramblers one. I liked that one very much. I think I could join that, she said, starting to ramble. Anyway, that was our final poet, unless we can convince Suzy to get on the open mic. Suzy, do you want to have a final word? Are you...
Yeah, no, I can read the final one.
There you go. Knew you could get you to share as a poem.
Okay. Still life as a porcelain vase in sunlight. And just like that, sunbeams blossom in the empty vase, so full of dandelion dust, not another particle can squeeze in. And my heart begins to thaw. Empty valves pulse with golden light, so bright, not another particle can squeeze in. And I hear the porcelain vase sing in time with wafting feathers, swirling a tune so achingly old, not another particle can squeeze in. And just like that, my heart begins to thaw. I am the porcelain vase singing.
Yay, we squeezed a Suzy poem in as well. How wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's read tonight. Especially thank you to our fantastic feature, Chloë Jacquet. Just stunning. You had us all captured from the moment you talked about biscuits to the very end when you made us laugh over something that, you know, we need to find the humour in. So thank you so much, Chloë. Remember that any money that you donate tonight will go to Maggie's, which is a local cancer charity. So please be generous. And thank you everyone for being at Crafty Crow's March version. Remember, if you want to laugh at the grace of Clive Oseman, somebody said to me in the chat, grace? Is that the right word for Clive? Of course it is. On the 1st of April, he is the feature next time. I've enjoyed being the host tonight. You've kept me on my toes in the chat. I mean, I've been having loads of conversations with you guys. Wonderful. And thanks, Jason, always for being incredible behind the scenes, technical, and keeping us all on track. Listen, we've finished on time. This is just incredible. Cheers to all the poets everywhere.